Hi, welcome. My name is Ines, and yeah, today, as you've seen from the title, I'm going to show you my bullet journal. Well, about the bullet journal, I know I created this channel because of university, but I've realized that a couple of things that helped me a lot before I went there that helped me a lot, I guess. And one of them was my bullet journal. I am not a very organized person. I mean, I am, but I'm not as much as I think, yeah. So I'm that type of person, and I created this because I thought it was cool and because it was super cute. When you see those bullet journals online, it's just amazing. You want to create something like that. Yeah, well, spoiler alert, it is never going to look like that. Well, unless you're very talented. I mean, I know there are people out there like that, but for example, I studied arts, and I know there are a couple of things that I wouldn't spend my time on it, and my bullet journal was one of them. So I'm going to start with some tips and advices, I guess, so you can have an idea of what it's like to start a bullet journal as a beginner and not being as artistic as what you see online. About the bullet journaling trend or whatever you call it. Yeah, I see many people online and even in real life spending a lot of time making their bullet journals, making it perfect. They want to put drawings and paintings and I don't know. It's just, I think sometimes that can be a little bit waste of time, because after all, a bullet journal is a bullet journal, a planner. You have to organize your life. It's not a sketchbook or anything. So for example, this was my first mistake actually. As you can see, I decided to paint the cover, and yeah, it looks really pretty. Inside is more minimalist, is more practical, and I guess that's one of the things that I like the most. I don't have to be worried about making it super cute or super perfect or searching aesthetically pleasing bullet journals to get inspired. And I guess that's one of the things that I feel proud about. And you're going to see that in the beginning, my bullet journal was trying to be aesthetically pleasing, and then yeah, a couple of pages after, I just gave up, and now it's just a planner, and yeah, I couldn't be happier with that. So with this point, I would also like to say, you don't need to make a bullet journal each year. I see many people doing it, like 2019 bullet journal or bullet journal of 2020, and I mean, ain't nobody got time for that. I mean, at least I don't. So yeah, you can do a bullet journal and it can last you a lot of time. So don't worry, do it as you go and don't stress. I mean, also, the first tip I would have for you is literally find a bullet journal with lines or with dots or with whatever. So for example, mine, as you can see, is a blank journal and it is a pain in the... So yeah, I wouldn't recommend to anyone. It's hard to make because you are always trying to make it cool, and then out of nowhere the line just goes like this and you're writing like this by the end of the page. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend it at all. So yeah, a blank bullet journal is not it. Second, there is no need to make it complex, okay? So you can make a minimalist one, a realistic bullet journal. You don't have to make those perfect ones with perfect drawings and all that. And after all, what matters is the content, is not what you draw in it, It's a functional planner, it's not a Canva. And yeah, I think many people forget about that part, which happens to be the most important one, but you know how people are. And do it as you like. You can decorate it, you can paint it, draw, but don't feel bad if you don't want to do that, or if you want to just make a normal journal, okay? About my bullet journal, I know the most important part of it to me is the travel part of it. So I have a lot of stuff that I usually bring with me and I don't want to forget, or I have certain things that I like to buy when I get into UK, or if I go back to Portugal and I really wanted to remember. And I usually have this book with me because it has everything, and that's a good thing about bullet journaling. You have everything organized, you just have to search for the page and you'll get all the information. So for example, I know I have many essential things you should bring with you if you go to the UK, or essential things you should buy to when you come back to Portugal, for example. So, and I really like that. It's really helpful. And also, I really like to write some of the stuff that I really liked in 2020, for example. Here I know I have my favorite movies and my favorite series. I think it's kind of cute because in a couple of years, if I ever find this again, I'm going to read it and it's going to be like, wow, I used to love this movie, or this was in my top 10 books and now it isn't, or you know. So I have a lot of lists, so I can find it and I can kind of have those nostalgic moments. I don't know, I usually do that a lot in this bullet journal. So I have a book edition, I have an anime edition, I have movie series, and I think it's really cool. I also have, you know, when I talked about the travel edition, I also have a clothes edition. So what should I bring with me when I go to the UK, or vice versa? Vice versa? What though? What? Ignore this part. But yeah, I have a lot of memories written here just in case, I don't know, someday maybe I can forget, I don't know. And yeah, I think it's really cool. I also have goals lists. So every time, for example, I wanted to create this channel for a long time now, and this was the perfect thing to write about in a goals list. Or what should I do, what should I don't. I also had to-do lists. Everybody has those ones. They are the most common ones, of course, because they are very practical. And I have quarantine to-do lists. I have to-do lists to when I go back, to-do lists for assignments, to work, job interviews. I have a lot of stuff like that, and it has helped me a lot. I'm not even going to lie. It's not even a thing that I just want to say,
yeah, I have a bullet journal and it's cute.
No, it's very, very practical. And I think if you're thinking about getting one or starting making a whole bullet journal, do it. It's amazing. And if you know how to make one and how to organize it and make it functional, that's the best thing. So yeah, I don't know if you were interested in this video, but I thought it was really interesting, and maybe some of you may like to know what it's like to have a bullet journal and how it helped other people. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. If you have any other video suggestions, comment down below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye.